Guys, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for having me. Now, let's get straight into it. YouTube's Lucas Torreira, YouTube's N'Golo Kante, the greatest YouTuber, the most sexiest YouTuber in this thing. It's a fact, man. I mean, look at that. But on a serious note, people, in regards to Arsenal, I don't want to sound like a demi-downer. I don't want to sound like I'm ranting because I'm not that. It's a time to be optimistic. I know a lot of my friends run bants. They look at, they take sick pleasure. And you know specifically I'm talking to you. I know you're watching this in seeing my emotions change from August to May. But anyways, right now, at this moment in time, regardless of what you think about the playing staff, what the future might hold, what other clubs are doing transfer-wise, there's reasons to be optimistic. I mean, we're finally getting a change, whether you think Unai Emery is the man or you think Wenger will stay or was the man to do it. I don't know, and I don't frankly care. We've got a new manager with a new way of playing, all of them things in it. I don't need to list off all the hundreds of things. You guys know this stuff already. You're intelligent enough. That's why you're subscribed and you watch Deluded. You know these things already. So there's a time to be optimistic in it. But what I always tell you guys is blind optimism. And I'm only speaking about myself here. I think to a degree I've been guilty of blind optimism in the sense that it's all new. We've seen the nice little vids from Arsenal. We can't read too much into 7-minute clips, but we've seen the nice little clips from Arsenal. We might not be there in terms of tactically and all of these things how Unai Emery wants to implement. But you've seen some progress. You've seen some progress in regards to fighting back to get something out of games, pre-season or not. You've seen some sort of willingness to press from the front, to press together. We're getting a bit better. There's still bad things. I'm still seeing balls over the top. I'm still seeing a naive backline. You probably want a bit more street smart players within the side. But people are fighting. The new signing, specifically Good Days, he looks good. There's a lot to be optimistic at the club about. There's a lot. But I think I've been blindly optimistic because when I move away from that, and it's like my Premier League cap's been switched on in this last week or so, and I look at the other clubs, not that I don't think it's the time to be looking at other clubs. I think it's the time simply to be looking at, if you support City and you're playing for City or whatever, you focus on City, United, Arsenal, Liverpool, the same. And then when you get to December and them, so obviously you're going to look at the table. I'm not saying that, but obviously when you get to December and these things, then you assess where you are. Okay, City are next to us. We might be able to win the league here for anyone that's top or whatever. We're in amongst the fight for the top four. If you're Arsenal, Spurs, Liverpool, and even Chelsea now, we need to keep fighting. How many games have we got left? Okay, we might take a 3 points there. Draw there won't be so bad. And then you start thinking tactically. But right now, it's just a case of just building momentum, righting the wrongs of last season, just simply winning game, putting a run together, a sequence, and for many reasons. For 3 points, obviously we need that for the top four, feel good, and all of them things. But in regards to blind optimism, I do think I've been blindly optimistic. Is because when I look at this side, when I look at things as non-biased as I possibly can, I ask myself, DG, are you happy with everything your club's done in the window? No, and that's not a critique. A lot of people won't be happy with their clubs. But the reason why I think I'm being blindly optimistic is because we're improving defensively. I still see errors defensively. If I'm harsh, again, Unai Emery might know his best back 4-5-3, whatever he wants to do, but I don't know it. I can't sit there. People always ask me, who's your centre-half pairing? I've said this all summer. Who is our centre-half pairing? I can't sit there. I can assess the side and I can be like, Mustafi, yeah, he was bought for a lot of money. Koscielny fit, most experienced. Chambers holding Mav, whatever in it. I can sit here, Socrates. I can sit here and do all of that in it. But who in this side, specifically centre half, screams they start fully? They start. There's none of that. And for me, if I'm a football manager, again, I'm just making vids, but if I'm a football manager, for me, the back five, I told you this all the time, season in, season out, so you know, people, I'm not lying. But I believe the back five, including the keeper, you can't win any title unless you get that fixed up, because attackers make the difference. Defense wins you leagues and wins you games, because they're the reason you don't concede goals when you're supposed to concede goals. And for me, just the confidence you get from a stable back five, it transmits to the other side, to the other players. And I don't see any, again, I'm not critiquing the players, I'm not getting at them, but is there an undoubtable top four choice? Obviously, you could say Bellerin, because obviously it's Bellerin, but you could also be harsh and say Liechtenstein might start. Left back is clearly Monreal, but there's also a case for Maitland-Niles or Kohler, on the basis that prior to his injury, he was involved. Centre-half specifically, who plays? If it's me, I was going to go with Chambers, but Chambers looks like he's departed from the club. It would have probably been Chambers and Mustafi to go with, but then you could probably say he could go with Mustafi and Socrates. Part of me wants to even consider a free, but you get the point. Regardless of any combination or your personal preference, anybody, specifically Arsenal fan, who at this moment in time, if they're playing in form and stuff, cool. But at this moment in time in August, anyone who tells you before the season starts, anyone who tells you which centre half is clearer, better than the other, or is the outstanding first choice to start games at centre half, I'm sorry, but you're lying at Arsenal, because it's not there. And so there's that. To go into your season with not knowing your best back five, to go into the season with the likes of Aaron Ramsey, Welbeck, Mustafi technically, Ospina, all of these futures up in air. You don't know if players are going to stay, if players are going to go. We don't know our best defence. Obviously, I'm happy about Lacazette and Aubameyang. Decision. Obviously, the player, Welbs has to have known what this manager thinks of him or wants to do with him. Ramsey, we need to have known where does he want to stay or go. And this really annoys me, the club. I love Aaron Ramsey. I really wanted to stay. But put your foot down. We cannot go into another season trying to right the wrongs of the last 18 months with the same contract crap. Because any good game that Ramsey has, big clubs are going to be eyeing him up in January. Arsenal have no chance. Every bad game, is his motivation there or not? I just really want to be able to go into Arsenal season and just look at this, the on-field stuff. Because for whether it's fans fighting in-house, whether it's all the off-field nonsense that comes with being an Arsenal fan, you guys know it. I don't want it. There's still a cloud of uncertainty. For me as well, there's not really any accountability. We all knew Wenger deserved a lot of blame he gets, but at times he was someone that people could hide behind. Ivan Gazidis could be leaving for AC Milan, and on the basis that I just said we don't know our best back four. We probably our signings, apart from Torreira and Gudezi, have been underwhelming to a degree, and several things that are not right in regards to even departures. We're getting 3 million for Perez. What is this? Ivan Gazidis, again, it's not all him, but if I'm looking at it as that, yeah, he wants to fix this, but if you're going off to AC Milan, are you necessarily going to care about this mess? I don't care if it's Ivan Gazidis is signing, Mislintat, Uno Emre signings in general. There's a lack of accountability at this club. I'm trying to find it. Like, I don't even know how to make this make sense to you. Like, it just, this uncertainty. Like, okay, Mislintat wanted Socrates. I'll give Socrates time, but does that scream anything to you? Like, it doesn't. Part of me feels Uno Emre. Obviously, the likes of Socrates and Vydra, if he comes into the club, they've obviously consulted with him and he's given the okay. Part of me thinks they're his signings. Part of me thinks that these are Plan B signings. Like, he's saying players and he's just not getting suggested targets. Part of me also feels that he's just having to work with austerity measures. And for me as well, if I'm putting under the microscope, what are we trying to do as a football club? Because again, yeah, we talk about class and winning through harmony and all these good things about being an Arsenal fan, or if you're in an Arsenal academy or the first team or whatever. But what specifically are we trying to do? If we do not have the money to buy this top key centre-halves, and again, it's not as easy, but scouts, do your job. Find these centre-halves. Find someone who is a lesser name that is just simply consistent and competent and can defend. That's all everybody wants. If you can do that for 2.5 million, you can do it. Because when we were worse competitively, we were finding better players. We arguably got a better playing squad loosely, and we've gone backwards. Like, we've really gone backwards. And again, I'm not getting at Socrates, I'm not getting at Vida. I said their names to make a point. Provided Vida comes, and Socrates is obviously 29, Mustafi's on the young side, but Koscielny's here, Monreal's here, Liechtenstein's here. We could, and on top of Vida, we can find ourselves with 5-6 players that are getting on a bit that we cannot move. And again, I see the angle. If we're going on an experienced individuals, then cool, and they'll help us lead the young ones in Chambers if he's still here, Mavropanos and Holding and all of that. Then cool. But what are we trying to do? Are we trying to sign players and develop them? Are we trying to sign stars? What are we doing? Because some of these players that are at the club and have been at the club are underwhelming, especially the ones that came for Stat DNA. The ones we're linked with are underwhelming. Again, I'm not getting at someone like Vida or something. I think he's committed. I think he's a decent centre-half. I've only watched him at the World Cup, so I'm not going to lie to you lot. Do I think he will improve our back four? I would love to be wrong, but I honestly think no. Do we know what we're getting from a 29-year-old that's been around the block? We don't. So why are we spending 20-odd million on it? I can't make sense of it. In my humble opinion, I'd much rather scouts do your job. Again, it's easy for me to sit here and say that, but these men have the resources we don't. They are paid to go and watch players all year round. You can't tell me that there hasn't been several reports slapped on a desk and this centre half plays for this centre half's that. This is what we needed, because if Arsenal have not got the money, we need to identify lesser targets quickly, get them in and develop them, in my humble opinion. Again, there's a lot to be optimistic about, but when I ask myself some tough questions and thought to myself, DG, are you being blindly optimistic? To a degree I have to be, because I'm seeing things, like I'm seeing on the sporting front, defensively we're improving, but we're still playing high lines. I'm still not seeing the street smartness. The centre-half thing, I've just spoken about it. There's still a lot of question marks. At the end of the day, I love Unai Emery and what he's doing, but at the end of the day, this will count. The screaming, pressing, shouting, pressing Spanish, the all cute little vids that the club's brought out, it will count for jack squat if we do not get top 4. Like, this is the most dangerous times of being an Arsenal fan, because now it really decides what this club wants to do post-Wenger. Do you want to get back to the elite and kick on, or do you just want to keep floating constantly? If you have a bad day, if you have a good one, fair enough. I don't know, but we'll see, man. I'm still optimistic, but I had to kind of bring it back in a bit, people. So I hope people think I'm not ranting and all of these things, but you guys watch me because you know I don't do them things. So on that note, guys, Deluded, get in the comments, subscribe and do the rest if you wish. The best YouTuber is out, man. I've kept enough of your time. Thank you very much for watching and tuning in and all them things as well. So I'm out, man.